Dear brothers and sisters, we'll start in 1 minute. Karen. Okay. Well, welcome to our masters, Brother Johan, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe to Saturday Hualien Dharma talk. A very good morning. Let us start the session for today. Recently, disasters have happened so rampantly one after another due to the great imbalance of 4 elements. Now with COVID-19 virus pandemic around the world, Master have great concern and earnestly urge everyone to repent and adopt vegetarian meal. Going vegetarian is a way to express our sincere piety, to pray for peace and a world free of disasters. It is the purest way of love for all living beings. Now let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Saha land be free from disaster and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piousness.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer. From all corners of the world, let us join our hearts and pray for a world of harmony and peace. From my heart, I pray. May we join our hands, our hearts as one. Spread the seeds of great love, nurture wisdom evermore. Let us fill the world with hope. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas know my prayer. All united with one heart, let us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter. In
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disasters in this world. Let us recite the universal love and blessings together with loving respect, gratitude, and confidence. Let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and a total fulfillment in universal love. Now let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we hear the wonderful sharings, let us invite our Buddha Masters to lead us in paying homage to Triple Gems. Let us pay our respects for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Ching Yen by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved Abode Masters who could join us today. Okay, today we have Brother David Liu will be giving us the Q&A session, and followed by Master Su, who will be sharing on the way of peace. Now let us invite Sister Su Ching for weekly summary. Sister Su Ching, over to you.
So much. Yes, let me find. Week we have Sister Hualien come on first. Story of a man in Indonesia who replanted an entire forest. He was ridiculed and called names, but he persevered, undeterred and unembarrassed. Another story was of Brother David when he first came to Malaysia. He had a fantastic business opportunity, but Master's advice he needed to hear. Master said, if the business destroys mountains and forests, better not to do it. So Brother David turned down the offer, even though he would lose his security deposit. Not long later, the 1997 economic crisis hit, and there was his answer. By listening to Master, he had miraculously dodged a financial disaster. The last insight Sister Hualien shared was a translation needn't be complicatedly brilliant. It is more important how well you absorb the words so that others benefit from your translation. Then we have Brother Wong and Brother Tan on the affinity with Malay language translation. Affinity is a natural liking for and understanding of someone and something. Brother Wong spoke of how he started to do work for BM translating, guided by the saying, you don't have to be great to start. You need to start to be great. Instead of fear of doing something unfamiliar, Brother Wong chose courage instead. Brother Tan was a retired Malay language teacher who taught for 35 years. The Malay language was his passion, not just his entire career. Nevertheless, his lack of depth in Dharma caused him to be reluctant initially. But together with Brother Wong, Brother Tan found working as a team made him happy. As he puts his effort, they both agree that translators benefit the most. Both brothers are happy that Dharma can be extended far and wide and from coast to coast. That's it for me today. We start there. And I'll pass over to Sister Stephanie to introduce the next speaker. Sister Stephanie, are you here?
Yes. Garden Sister Su Ching for the wonderful, wonderful poem again. Really helped us so much every week to recapture what was learned and shared last week. Okay, a very good morning, brothers and sisters. Here we are again at our monthly Q&A session with our dear brother David Liu. Brother David Liu is already here with us.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Can you see me?
Good morning. We can't see you, Brother David. No.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you, but cannot see you.
Okay, I use my cell phone. I don't know how.
You're using your cell phone now. Okay.
You're muted.
Now we can't hear you.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Yeah,
You
we
can
can
hear
hear
me?
you, Brother David. Yes.
But I don't know how to
Are
open
you
the.
comfortable? Are you comfortable with using the handphone?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
if
use my
you're
handphone. I use
comfortable
my
using the
handphone now.
handphone, it's fine. Okay, we'll flash the questions from here, Brother David.
Give me 1 minute.
now we
Okay,
can
okay. Done, right?
早上好，阿弥陀佛，
Okay.
感恩感恩感恩。
So many things need to learn.
Same here, same here. Good morning, Brother Robert. Good morning,
Good
brothers
morning,
and
good
sisters
morning.
all. Okay, so before we go to the questions, Brother David, would you like to share with us monthly update about life at the abode? 有什么要跟我们分享先？
好。
好，
This
感恩哦。
okay. You know, next Friday, 我要录哈 I'm going to Thai TV station to record my live podcast 我的直播了哈 This is number 100 episode. Almost
Wow.
2 years already.
Wonderful.
This live, my live podcast almost 2 years. So next Friday, I will be recording my number 100 episode.
Wow,
Yeah.
amazing. We look forward to 1,000.
It is the problem. The problem is 100 episode of my live podcast. How many contents inside? They need so many notes. 我的笔记呀 because each episode, if I share 40 minutes to 1 hour, okay, we average to say we share 40 minutes. That means I need at least at least 6,000 words. 6,000 words. That means my notes. So multiply 100. How many notes I need to share in this live podcast? How? So from 30 years ago, I already have this habit. Every day I must take notes. That means at the beginning we joined Su Ching, we joined the Xunfa Xiang, right? And in Hualien abode, we also need to join the morning meditation, right? Yeah, the morning meditation. So I always cherish this time to take my notes and keep 30 years already. So in my laptop, roughly I have around 4 million words. 4 million words, including my 8 books, which I issued before.
Wow.
And besides, I have to take so many notes from master's teaching or any good sentence from the sutra, everything. So this let me can keep 100 episodes and not yet finish. So the morning time is very important for us because in the morning, our mind is more clear. I still remember a few years ago when I went to California. At the volunteers there, they told me they hope can same time, same step to Xunfa Xiang together with Hualien headquarters. That means the master give teaching, the Jin Si Chen Yu, at morning about the 5:20, right? Roughly around 5:20, 5:15 start. So in in California time is 2:20 or 2:15 p.m. Same day, but different time slot, but it's the same day. They hope can do this way. The volunteer in California, they told me. But I came back to headquarters. I report to master. Master say, don't do like this. Although this is the same time. We are in Taiwan in the morning. You are in California, it's afternoon. But this, although this is the same time, right? Go together. But the master say, I prefer the volunteers in California. They can Xun Fa Xiang next day morning, not same day, next day morning. Master say, I can record this Qin Shi Chen Yu for them. And they can listen my teachings next day, not same day. And master emphasize why I want them to do this way. Because in the morning it's much better. This Xun Fa Xiang is better in the morning than afternoon. This master told me. So master told me, see, my 进师成语 and 志工早会 all in the morning, right? All in the morning. So morning time is the best time for listening master teaching. So
correct. Agree.
So during these 30 years, every day I just take notes, maybe not too many, but accumulate, become so many notes. This keep me can keep 100 episodes live post until now. Okay.
That's
so
enough, really.
Yeah. So let's go ahead.
4 million words. So if we actually string them together, Brother David, 如果把它串起来，
对呀，
对，
你要去整理
我们的 is our wisdom life, right? Is our wisdom life.
Yes. And now I calculate these 2 years. I give this a live podcast and how many words inside. I almost can issue another 6 books already. See, I can issue another new books, 6 new books. 还可以再出6本书啊，你看看。So many things, but all these inspiration is in the morning. Is get in the morning. So morning time is very important.
So it's very important for us to actually also write down our contemplations every day, 对吗？
Yeah, every day morning.
好。
Morning time, mind is clear. Yeah, this is very important. Let's keep continuous.
Okay, now it's also in the morning and it's time for us to also ask questions so that we can receive the answers when our minds are very, very clear. Shall we move to the questions, Brother David?
Okay.
So we have collected 4 questions this week. We have collected 4 questions. Okay,
the
first question. Why does the great unhindered superior Buddha 大通知什么佛啦？知什么了？忘记了。
释迦牟尼佛。
哎，不是，我们现在上人在讲的 Great Unhindered Superior Wisdom Buddha. Why does this Buddha take 10 small kalpas to attain enlightenment, while Sakyamuni Buddha took only 21 days?
OK， 这个Sakyamuni 就是释迦牟尼佛嘛，对不对哈？
对。
But why Sakyamuni is attain Buddhahood earlier than other Buddha? Compare with Sakyamuni and 弥勒佛啊，弥勒佛各位知道吗？弥勒佛、弥勒菩萨、弥勒佛，肚子大大的弥勒佛啊。
Maitreya
Buddha. Maitreya Buddha.
Yeah.
Maitreya.
They are start to learn the Buddhism at the same time. But why Sakyamuni attained Buddhahood earlier than
Maitreya.
than other Buddha? Why? Because Sakyamuni's vow, his vow, is always come back to the crowd in this life. In crowd, 他的愿就是入人群呐、他的愿是入人群呐、
To the masses, to the people.
Yeah, to the people, come back to the people. Not only cultivate himself in the Pure Land, right? Yeah, in the Pure Land, you know. So this vow is different. So this vow is same as Sangren. Sangren also did this vow, right? She didn't, she didn't cultivate herself in a temple or in the mountain, right? It become a Gaosen Dade. Is a very famous nun or famous monk. No, she keep very humble, 很缩小自己. Okay, always stay together with sentient beings. Always stay with the ordinary human. Like Master and us, every day so many ordinary human and different people go to abode, right? To get teaching, get lesson from Master. And Master Sangren, her vow is also in crowd, come back to the people, help the people, take the action. This we call the Buddhism in action. So this kind of vow can get more affinity with the sentient beings. And this is the key issue of attending Buddhahood.
Yeah.
So this is something to do with the vow, you know.
The vow meaning the causal, 它的 causal practice 啦，我们讲的 causal practice。
什么意思？
The causal practice 啦 the vow is the causal practice.
Yeah,
in Chinese I'm not. Yeah. The cause 啦，那个种子，那个种子。
种子，对，那个种子，对，所以 this cause means
the seed.
The how to say is 企图啊，
This
企图
map.
他的企图心啊。
哦，企图。
所以企图 means how to say attempt, yeah, 企图 like her wish, something like Master's wish. She want to help all the people. Like now, fighting in Russia and Ukraine, right? We are also very aggressive to take the action. Few days ago, I just had a meeting in abode and discussing how to take action to help the Ukraine refugees. You know, but because the refugees went to about the 6 countries nearby Ukraine. But the majority of the refugees now enter Poland. So we focus on Poland now. Yeah, we seek for the different channels and buy the food local or send the foods from other country to Poland and set up and together we do this together with the UNICEF. You know, the United Nations, the Children Foundation. We call the UNICEF, UNCEF, right? You know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a partnership with the UNICEF, because this is big event, especially this is a fighting, not like before the disaster we can do by ourselves. You know? So this we have to be in a partnership together with the United Nations. Yeah. So we call the way we are doing is like the Sakyamuni, his wish, and we do this also according to Master's vow, because her vow is save and assist all the people in the world if they are in suffering. So these we call the Bodhisattva path. This is we call the Bodhisattva path, which is a way to attain Buddhahood. That's why Sakyamuni, attained Buddhahood earlier than other Buddha. Okay.
Okay. So meaning, Brother David, 这个大通之圣佛 take long time because of 他的 vow 跟 Sakyamuni is different.
Yes. Even the
even Maitreya, even Maitreya.
对 yes.
弥勒佛
跟弥
弥勒佛
勒佛一样
is future Buddha. 大通之圣佛 is past Buddha. Sakyamuni is present Buddha.
对 okay. You see the 文殊师利菩萨 right? 文殊师利菩萨 he is the how to say the 智慧第一啊。
Wisdom foremost in wisdom. 智慧 foremost in wisdom. Yeah.
那他的智慧第一，对不对？舍利佛 also 智慧第一。
Sariputra also.
Yeah, both of them are 智慧第一。
Yeah.
But the Sakyamuni told 舍利佛, your number one wisdom is only 小圣的智慧第一啊，小圣 small vehicle.
Small vehicle.
Yes, and 文殊师利菩萨 number one wisdom, he is 大圣的智慧第一啊。
Great vehicle wisdom.
The main reason is 舍利佛 not yet attain Buddhahood. And 文殊师利菩萨 already attained Buddhahood and come back to this life to the people, to implement his vow. So this 境界 this situation is completely different. Although both of them are 智慧第一, but the situation is completely different.
Aspiration is different.
Yes.
So it takes longer because the vow, the aspirations and the vow of practice is different. Sakyamuni went into the masses to create great affinity. So wisdom and blessing too are very important.
Yes.
福慧啦，福慧双修啦。
对。那福慧双修 the fortune you must go into crowd to create.
Right. The fool must go into the crowd.
And the wisdom means you have to go into the sutra. 就是法脉。
上求。
So the fortune, for us to say the fortune, we call
the blessing.
We call the the fortune we call the 慈济宗门呐。
慈济 school of Buddhism.
慈济 school of Buddhism we call the fortune. 净师 lineage. 净师
Dharma lineage.
净师 Dharma lineage. This we call the wisdom. So this is very clear, easy to understand, right? 福慧双修 fortune and wisdom.
Work together.
One is 宗门 one is 净师 Dharma lineage. So 这个听起来就很懂了嘛，对，就明白了，对哈。
对，好。好。
So the conclusion is must go into crowd, cannot cultivate yourself, cannot learn Buddhism at home, must come out.
It's not, it will take a very long time to turn for, right? To attain Buddhahood will take a long time because we are jumping with one leg, 一只脚在走，不是两只脚在跑。We are not walking with two legs. Okay, great. 感恩啊 Brother David. Shall we go to the next question?
The second one.
Okay, second one. Okay, this one very recent one. My community volunteer advised me against joining.
Different. Not in my laptop. Why do community volunteers advise me against the join other community activity? Right? Okay. So that is not organized in my community.
but
Yeah.
I hope to learn from others, and it also does not hinder my time. It means it does not disturb my time out. It does not disturb my time to join my own community activity.
Okay.
So the question is there such restriction in 慈济？我们是否是不可以去 join 别的社区的 activity 吗
Okay.
Brother David?
Yeah, I know, but in Su Ching, we never say absolutely cannot, because everything depends on affinity. If you are really have good relationship or have this special affinity with the other community, or you have special affinity with the 组长, the chief in that community, okay, you have this special affinity, then nobody can say no, right? Because this is your affinity, something very different from the other volunteers. Nobody can reject. But in Su Ching system framework, why we set up this 4-in-1 framework? Why? Because master want everything under good system. Okay, if your excuse is you want to learn from other community activity, but from my point of view, I also want to learn, right? But you want to learn, this is a good thing. But why you insist participating the other community activities? If you want to learn, even also so many things you can learn from your own community activity, right? If you want to learn, 无人不是法, no one is not Buddha Dharma. 无处不是法, 无处不道场了. No
places that Dharma,
no places
that Dharma does not exist.
Yes. You want to learn everywhere you can learn. Don't insist on which community, right? The place where you stay at your home. Your home also 道场怎么讲?
Spiritual training ground.
A training ground. Yeah.
对.
Even in your kitchen, it's a training ground. How to keep your good mood, to cook the food for your family. Don't lose temper to cook food, right? You also can warn yourself, right? You go out your house, your neighborhood.
Neighbors.
Yeah, your neighbor, all your neighbors is Buddha Dharma. All your neighborhood is a training ground. So this, if every and especially if everybody like your mindset, I want to learn from other community activity, then how is group become, right? Then it make no sense. Master set up this framework, 4-in-1 framework, right? So we better follow. We better follow this framework. Yeah.
就是回归社区的意思吗？
回归社区, yeah. Return back to your
reverting
own
back to community.
Yeah, and this is more convenient for you as well, because you have to go so far to participate activities. How long you can keep, right? You come back to your own community, just in your neighbor, right? You want to go, you want to come back. It's very easy, convenient. So everything is convenient. This can keep us long term, right?
Sustainable.
Yes. The master doesn't want us to go so far to 助念 also. 助念啊.
助念. We also say 助念啊.
Yeah. Okay. If my relative, okay, my family relatives pass away in a very long distance, if I have no time and not convenient to go, suppose it's overseas, right, or different states, you don't have to go, no problem. As long as the Lantian by the Su Ching volunteer, right, go and comfort them, it's okay. Not everything must be you. No need. 没有非你不可的. 对不对？
对，
也没有非你不可。As long as the volunteer wear 蓝天白云 okay appear okay they see the hope, somebody come to come for me, enough. This is very long-term view we have to learn. Not everything must be you, no. Otherwise you cannot be sick, you cannot take leave, you cannot die also. 那你不能往生啊，不能往生就麻烦了啊，对不对？什么都要你，那就不能往生啊。
Okay, Brother David, this is maybe because we have one activity that is very good, in one a community. So some of us went to the community to learn, hoping that we can bring it back to our own community. 这样子 OK 吗？
Yeah, okay.
就是因为我们要去学 we want to learn from them how they promote vegetarian, let's say. We find that it's so good. We go and learn, then we come and bring it back. But we know that we have to adapt to our own searching condition. 因缘还是不一样。
Yeah, this different condition. This can do. And we encourage the people go to other activity to learn some activities. But not long term you participate the activity there.
Yes.
You just go and learn. Then your experience. Then come back to use this experience in your own community.
To implement in our community. So that's okay, right?
This
so
okay.
No
this
restriction.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Not to say we go keep on doing activity there, just want to be the activity there. No, not that.
No.
不是。
Yes.
明白。Okay.
So this
very clear.
Must clear. Yeah.
这个他在讲我嘞。
So now you clear.
Because we went to learn from another community because they were doing so wonderful. Yeah, and we really learned a lot.
You can go and you can go and learn, but now physically involvement, not physically involved in that community.
Correct. Learn but not go and involve. And become meddlesome afterwards.
Yeah. So everybody clear now.
对，好 clear 感恩哦。Shall we move on to the next one? How? The third question, let's see if it's the same. I read for you, We sometimes perform meritorious deeds on behalf of someone who has passed away. 对，为他做功德啦。往生者。What is the meaning of this? Is it really possible? Master say we can only cultivate our own blessing. Right.
Okay, this is very particular mindset in the Bodhisattva path, the way Bodhisattva paths do. Normally, the Buddhists, they do like this, what this question said. Now, somebody pass away, then we use the monk or nun, right? Go and chanting, right? 就帮他做功德啦, But for Bodhisattva path, the mindset is different. All the meritorious deeds you have to do by yourself when you are alive. Not when you pass away, you ask somebody chanting for you, 助念, and perform the meritorious deeds for you. No. Even in Buddhism to say, in Pure Land school to say, in 净土中来讲，对不对？
对，
If the people pass away, we go to chant for these people. How many meritorious deeds we can get? Somebody say 7分或6分嘛，对不对？And 这个王者是拿1分嘛
？Okay, 10%.
王者，10%. Now we can get.
The departed one get 10%.
We can get 10%.
70 to 80%.
But how you measure how many percent of the meritorious deeds you get, right? And especially, Master said, when you are alive, you cultivate so many bad karma. Then after you pass away, you ask somebody chant for you and perform the meritorious deeds for you. This is meaningless. This is not right. Not right. So before you pass away, when you are alive, you have to cherish the time Just now we said we have to go into crowd to help the people to cultivate yourself, to create so many good deeds for yourself, done by yourself. This is the real theory. 这个是真实的道理。This is the real living philosophy. So everything you have to do by yourself, not perform a tutorial this after we pass away. No. This is the mindset of the Bodhisattva path. So my father and my mother already passed away. Both of them are sacramental. We don't act monk or nun chant for my father and mother. No, very easy. After they pass away, change the clothes. Immediately, within 8 hours, we have to send from Su Ching Hospital to Su Ching University and store the body. The body. Very simple, very clear. Because why you do so many meritorious deeds. 做很多怎么chanting everyday chanting, this already useless. That's why I don't do that. I follow master's teaching to arrange my father and mother's 那个什么葬礼呀。
The funeral.
The funeral. I follow master's teaching to do my father and mother's funeral. Very clear, very simple, no noise. Keep quiet, and just give blessings to my father and mother. Just go.
So the greatest blessing comes from your own actions. Okay.
Yes.
Basically, that's it. Other people do for you. It already is trickled down already.
It's your merit. Other people perform meritorious deeds for you. Still belongs to their merit, not your merit.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, my cat just jumped onto my table. Wait, Okay, how? So this is quite clear. We should seize the moment to do it when we are still alive. If somebody else needs to do it for us, it will be much less. The person who do it will gain more, right?
Yes.
Okay, very clear.
Yeah, clear. Okay.
How? Right, question number 4.
Okay.
Question number 4. This is very interesting. What is the difference between chanting Sakyamuni Buddha and Amitabha Buddha?
Yeah.
Why do we at Tzu Chi chant Namo本师释迦牟尼佛 during activities, but chant Namo Amitabha during 助念?
Okay. I think few days ago, this week, Monday afternoon, when we keep the sharing with Master, this is the routine. Every Monday afternoon, I think you know, right? And when Master give teachings, Master said, she never say hello to other people by Amitabha. Master say herself never say Amitabha. But so many of you always want to say 各位师兄师姐 Amitabha, right? That become for Buddhists,
habit.
Yeah, have become a habit. All the Buddhists when you say send regard each other, they say Amitabha. That day, but I already heard Master say many times already. Master said I never say Amitabha because if you want to say, I want to say Sakyamuni Buddha. Because now the Buddha we follow now is Sakyamuni, right? The
Buddha of this era, this era.
Yeah. The spirit we adhere is follow Sakyamuni. The spirit also. What we do in this Bodhisattva path is also according to Sakyamuni's mindset. His willing. That's
correct.
The Buddhism in action, all the humanistic Buddhism, all this kind of philosophy is coming from Sakyamuni. So we have to follow this. But this kind of vow and wish is not from Amitabha. Amitabha is different vow, right? So for normal Buddhists, they are learning Buddhism start from Pure Land school. They always say Amitofo, Amitofo, right? Because the vow for Sakyamuni and Amitofo is different. We just said that the Sakyamuni's vow is come back to the world, come back to the people, stay and assist the people. But Amitofo's vow is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amitofo. Amitofo is in Pure Land. But for Bodhisattva past to say, even if you are in Pure Land, you still have to come back to the world.
Right.
Yeah. So we
directly. Brother David, 为什么 then we chant Namo Amitofo during 助念?
This become a habit, just like in our morning meditation in abode in Jinse. We still have to chant so many sutra, except the 那个法华经啊，对不对？对不对？ The essence of 四句 formations, eight footsteps, is based on 法华经, right?
Yes.
It's 法华经. But when we are chanting, we are doing the morning meditation, not only 法华经. We also chant 楞严经, right? 那个什么那个方便品也有啊. But this kind of the morning class is following from long time ago, few thousand years ago, you know. So we still sometimes this also we not can say this is not right, you know. Only focus on the 法华经. We cannot say this is not right. We are focused on 法华经, but we don't oppose the other sutra. So other sutras spirit, we also can 变成复修了. Just like in university, you have your faculty, right? 你的主修跟副修嘛.
Your major and your minor.
Yeah, your major and minor, yeah. And just like we eat the food, 你有 main course 啊.
正常 main course. Dessert. Side dish. Side dish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So something like this. I make this comparison, like something like this, you know, right?
Okay.
You want to eat the main course in the restaurant, but the restaurant also give you some other food for appetites, right? Yeah.
But in the end, all will make us full. But in the end, all will make us full. All the food will make us full. It's the same. It's all the same path leads to the same.
Yeah.
诸佛都是同道啦，对吗？
对，大道相通嘛。We cannot say our spirit we based on the 法华经 and oppose.
We don't
or
oppose
other sutra. This is not right. This is not smooth. 不圆满呐。
No harmony. Not harmony.
Yes. 没有包容性，对不对？有持续 volunteer team only focus on 法华经 and you don't learn other sutra. This is not smooth, not 没有包容性。I asked this question before. Few years ago, when I was in abode, I also asked the 常住师父 why, because I joined the morning meditation, but why I have to chant other sutra. And the 常住师父 told me, but this kind of class for all the temple, okay, all the Buddhists almost same, and we cannot say we are something different from the other the Buddhist group. This is not good. No harm. We only can say if we chant other sutra, no harm. But our main course is focused on 法华经. This we must clear.
Okay. So Brother David, just to clarify, the chanting of Namo Amitofo, of course, is not wrong, definitely, because all Buddhas share the same path. But this one came down actually because of not from master, right? It's something that is practiced since like a 这个 Namo Amitofo, right? It's not practiced by master. Master didn't tell us to do that, right?
Yes,
But it is,
yes,
we
yes.
can accommodate all of this. And it
Yes,
is a
yes,
practice that by habit, is it?
Yes, 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 right.
是在那个 in the society, the habit was that. So we just take on that.
Yes,
因为
yes,
要
yes.
包容 because we want to accommodate the society.
对， right.
对吗？
对，
So,
对，
okay, understand. Okay,
Yeah.
but our root teacher is Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛。
对，所以你看 in morning meditation, sometimes we also chant Amitofo. But in our activities, all the music, 100% of the music is Namo 本师释迦牟尼，
Namo 本师
right?
释迦牟尼佛。
Yeah, even our break time, they also
对，
他们也是用这首歌嘛，对不对？
OK，
一样
好，OK， 明白。Very
Okay,
good，
好。
感恩 so much. Okay, I
好，
hope it
好，
clears
好。
the mind of the person who was asking this question, including mine. Okay, 感恩。
Yeah, this
So,
must be.
do we have another question? I think we have 4 official questions.
Okay.
下一个是 yeah. Now actually we open the floor
Where
for
is the?
questions.
Can you send me this question
Yeah, we have sent you, Brother David.
by what? By email?
The new one, the one that come from the floor, we haven't. So now we're gonna open. Now we
Oh,
open
okay,
to the
okay.
floor.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
we still have 15 minutes, about 15 minutes. So we
Okay.
would like to invite brothers and sisters who have joined us today to raise your questions that you have in your mind so that our brother David can answer them for you. Please seize the opportunity. You can switch on the mic or you can actually post a question in the chat.
Yeah.
Actually,
Must have
Brother
many
David, I
problems.
have one question that came, sorry.
Okay.
I have one question that came into my message.
Okay.
Maybe I just read it for you from here. It's from one sister, but she's joining us from YouTube. So the question is, Master says,
Yeah.
the one who gives is always the blessed one. Or the blessed ones are the ones who give. 这个I also have some question whether it's the same meaning or not. Okay, which one is true? 就是付出的人是有福的人，还是有福的人就是付出的人？是一样吗？
付出的人就是有福的人，因为有福你才能够给人家祝福嘛，对不对？你有爱心。
付出的人 means the one who 付出人 the one who give is the blessed one. 付出的人就是有福的人 or the blessed ones are the one who give. 有福的人就是
same thing.
Same thing?
Yeah. If you can cultivate the fortune, that means you can help other people. That means you have ability. You have capability, right? This is something like you want to give love to other people. That means you have in your heart, in your mind, you have love. Because you have love, that's why you can 送爱给别人嘛。
Because you have the inner love, only you can
people.
give the love to the outer.
Yeah, but on contrary, if you don't have love, you are lack of love, then under this situation, you need somebody to give you love, right? For other people to say they have love, that's why they can give you love. Because you need love. 你缺爱啊。So if you don't have love, that means if you don't have love, then impossible you give other people love. No. You feel happy, that means you have ability to let other people be happy as well, right? If you are unhappy, how to give other people happy? Impossible. So eventually you have to come back to yourself, to depend yourself, to repent yourself, right? To 充实你自己啊, to improve yourself. That you become a people with the fortune, with the wisdom, then you have this ability to give other people fortune, right? To give other people wisdom, like master, right? That because some of us still no fortune, still no wisdom, still no love. That's why we have to learn. Before we don't have fortune, but now we cultivate the fortune. We have more and more fortune now. Before we cannot sacrifice for other people. We cannot give other people. But now after we join Su Ching, we start to learn give other people. I give you what I have. Before I have so many things, but because my mind is very narrow, I'm very selfish, so I don't give to other people. But now I join Su Ching, I know, try to give, 多做多得嘛。
对，
意思是这样子嘛？对，
The more we do, the more we gain. So we come to Su Ching to train ourselves to do.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is also very important. So this is also very important for master. Always tell the volunteers, when you go to the disaster area, when you do the home visit, right? Not only you give the material or the cash to the people to help the people. Not only this, you have to educate the cases. Now you live under suffering. That's why Su Ching volunteer, right? To give you to assist you, right? So now for the case to say they are 手心向上嘛，对不对？手心向上
，pumps up to pumps down.
Yeah, pumps up. The case is pumps up because please help me, right? That's why they pumps up. But now, Su Ching volunteer already give them something to help them. Now we still have to educate them. When I solve your problem, your living problem, you already have ability. You have to be a person with the harm down now to other people.
然后你就做有福的人 Now you become the blessed one.
Yeah. Because you get the blessings from volunteers. Now you already have blessings. Once you have blessings, you have to learn how to give blessings to other people. This we call educate the rich, right? Help the poor, educate the rich, right? For Su Ching to say educate the rich doesn't mean the people is rich. The meaning, what is rich? As long as you have full of love, then you are rich people. If you don't love, but you have so much money, you are the poor rich man.
Poor rich man.
You are not rich man. You are poor rich man. Look,
spiritually poor. Poor.
Seems you are really very rich, but you are only rich in the money, on the wealth. But for wisdom, and the love, you are very poor. So when we say educate the rich, doesn't mean educate the rich people. Educate the people who get assistance from us. Now we also hope them to give assistance to other people. Then he become a rich man, rich people. This we call the educate the rich.
Okay. So I see actually it is both ways are correct. Both ways are correct. Both ways to say it. Blessed are the ones who give, or the one who give is blessed. It's actually the same. It's just which position you are at the different time.
Yeah.
对吗？如果 if you don't have, that's why you need to train so that you can train in your virtues, your blessing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Then you are able to have the inner love to give to others. Yeah.
As long as you can give other people love, give other people living material, that means you have. If you don't have, how you give, right? So you have, and also you want to give out. That means you are the people with fortune. You are the people with love, right? You don't love, you don't have love, you don't have fortune. How you give out, right? Same thing.
Okay. So yeah, from palms up to palms down.
Yeah.
The conclusion here.
But just now, it's a concept very important is that for Su Ching to say educate the rich doesn't mean educate the rich people only. That's why when we are doing the helping poor, right, the master always teach us must know 济贫交富，交富济贫 right? Yeah.
就是 it's always move in tandem，两方面都要做。
Yes. Yeah.
To balance it up. Okay, wonderful.
And this is very important.
Okay,
yeah.
Very important. Thank you so much, Brother David, for your wonderful insights. We still have time. We still have time for maybe one more question. Are there any more questions from the floor? 把握因缘, seize the opportunity. Brother David is with us once a month.
Sister Stephanie, there's a question inside the chat by Brother Wong Sing Choi. Dear Brother David Liu,
Wong Sing Choi. In the chat.
Dear Brother David Liu, why is so difficult to hu si?
Oh, dear Brother David Liu. Okay, our brothers Wong Sing Choi from I think northern side. He asked, Brother David, why is it so difficult to 和和互协?
Why so difficult in 和和互协?
To be harmony and to have a collaborative effort.
You mean it is difficult? It is difficult to follow 和和互协, right?
Why so difficult to 和和互协? Is this among our Tzu Chi people or with?
Actually, I think
it's internal. I think it's an internal thing. Yeah.
和和互协 it must always teach the volunteers must 和和互协 because in crowd among the people it's exactly same as we are in 和和互协. If you are not in Tzu Chi volunteers team, you also in other crowd, in your family also in the crowd, right? Not you are alone, you're also with other people together, right? In your office, you have to get along with the other staff together. That's also the crowd, same crowd, right? So how you keep your good relationship with the crowd, it is something how you keep your good relationship, how you keep your good affinity with the Tzu Chi volunteer, other Tzu Chi volunteers. This is why we come to Tzu Chi to learn. So the wisdom, the method you learn how to get along with the volunteers in Tzu Chi very well. If you succeed, you get experience. This kind of wisdom and experience you can use in your family, use in your office as well. But Tzu Chi volunteer, Tzu Chi is only one place you easy to learn because this we call the Bodhisattva path. In this path, Master teach us so many wisdom for the human relationship that we call the 和和互协. So if you learn, you get it, you can use it in your office, use your family. But in your family, in your office, you are very difficult to learn this kind of living philosophy because your office purpose is making money. They don't teach you this. And who teach you this? No. In your family, maybe you are the person joined Tzu Chi. The other people know. The other family members, they don't know Tzu Chi. So everybody is ordinary human. But you are something different because you have special affinity, join Tzu Chi volunteer. Because you have this opportunity to learn the teachings from Master. This is the living philosophy, which you can use in your life and together get good along with your family people, use in your office, right? So you see, it's not difficult. It's difficult to learn the 和和互协 because you have to eliminate your point of view. Right? In Tzu Chi, we don't seek for name, profit. No name, no profit for you, right? But and you don't seek for any return, right? But when master give you a title, you are the chief, you are the 组长，你是什么长什么长。Once you get this title, you have to reflect yourself whether you are something wrong as before you. Once you have this title, become something different. We can see other people, right? In Su Ching, right? Before he is the volunteer only, but now he become chief. But her mind says something different already. Right? Become you have. Yeah. 所以这个是我们要学的。
So, Brother David, you said an important point just now to this question. Why is it difficult to be he, hu, xie? You said because we need to learn to eliminate our own views.
Yes. 为什么不合？
Then only we can harmonize.
Yeah. You know, the difficult in he, hu, xie. When you join activity, it's not difficult. Only join the activity. Not difficult, right? You go to disaster area to do the relief operation, right? You go to the flood area to clean up, to do the clearing. This nobody has argued, right? Everybody very happy when they are doing this good deeds, right? But when in the meeting we have problem, right? When we are in the meeting, everybody has its own point of view.
Own opinion, yeah.
Yeah, everybody has different mindset. Then how to compromise with the other people, right? When then we don't
compromise.
we have to learn. Don't insist your own opinion. This doesn't mean your opinion is not good. Your opinion may be too good, but other people cannot accept, right? And other people opinion. And maybe also we can take reference, right? So this we have to learn in the crowd.
So 共识, consensus is the most important. 共识.
Yeah, you have to 共识. Yeah, 共识.
Consensus.
Yeah, consensus. Yes, but the very important thing for me to say, don't insist your own opinion.
Don't insist your own opinion. Then can 和互协.
Yes. Yes, you know, we learn Buddhism. There are 4 objectives we have to follow. First one, we want to eliminate our afflictions, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 我们消除烦恼，对不对？
对。
解脱了，解脱怎么讲？
Liberate from suffering. Liberate, 解脱。
Liberate 哈。
Liberate.
这解脱的意思了，对不对哈？
对 liberate 对
liberate
from the suffering.
From suffering, first one. The second one, liberate the 知见怎么讲？知见
view and understanding. No, views and understanding. 知见 the knowledge and view. Yeah.
You also have to 放下
eliminate. 放下 let go.
You have to let go. You can be keen to contribute your suggestions, but don't insist. You have to know at the right time, you have to let go. Don't insist. But normally, the ordinary human, they will insist. This opinion offer from me, and I want to make it success. Right? We always have this kind of the tendency.
Yeah.
So we have to learn now in the crowd. Everybody always think his opinion is the best, including us, right? But so many people, so many different opinions. Which one we have to choose, right? Everybody insists now how to get the consensus. So we don't care other people whether they let go their opinions, but we let go first. Who let go first? Who liberate? 你刚才讲那个解脱啊
liberate, yeah.
Liberate, B Bangkok.
Liberate.
Okay, liberate. Okay, who liberate the point of view first? Who liberate first? Who let go? Who let go the opinion first? Yeah, who let go first? Who liberate first as well?
对。
Before we are not this kind of people. Before we are not this kind of people. Before we join to see, we are not kind of. We always insist. We want to debate with other people. No, we don't want. Right? Yeah. If other people take our opinion or suggestions, we feel very grateful. But other people don't take our advice, don't take our
We also very
suggestions.
grateful.
Yeah, we let go. 无缘, this we mean no affinity. If no affinity, then we have to flow it naturally. They flow naturally.
With the flow. Go with the flow.
No any halak, no any affliction in our mind. If everybody have this kind of thinking and mindset, then 和和互协 is very easy. It's very easy.
很好，感恩 so much, Brother David, for the wonderful insights and the lessons and teachings for us. Much as we would like to go on, the time is up. Actually, it's 7:30. 7:30了，7点半了。
Okay, see you next time.
好了 ，So all of us, would you like to take a picture with Brother David first? Brother David, 你要离开了吗
Yes.
Are you leaving already?
Okay. Oh, Brother Robert.
太厉害了你，太厉害了，太过厉害了你。
Wow, big Buddha in front of me now.
Shall we all take a picture with Brother David before he leaves? Come, can we unpin our image so that everybody can come into the picture?
越来越厉害了。
unpin.
刘师伯，哇，你的头啊发光了，开始。
刘师佛，我听到刘师佛。
Because you know why I have light on my head, you know, because I have light.
Light coming out, yeah, the light coming out. 太厉害了。
感恩感恩。
OK，
来我们拍一张合照哈。
OK，
感恩哦，感恩David, Brother David.
OK，
感恩 for the wonderful sharing and teaching. Looking forward to next month.
All the best for all of you.
感恩。
Go 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 go
go go go 感恩感恩和和互协和和互协
go 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 yeah OK
好
拜拜
感恩 so much 拜拜
OK
拜拜拜拜拜拜 OK 好的感恩哦
OK 拜拜 Robert 拜拜
拜拜 David
是的
拜拜 everybody
拜拜拜拜
Who is this Buddha
拜拜
OK 拜拜拜拜 OK 拜拜
Okay, 感恩 so much, Brother David Liu, for the awesome Q&A session today. And now,
pagi pangkian ada baca, lalu baca dah.
Okay, 感恩 Sister Su Ching. Now we move on to our session with Master Su, right?
Yeah, Master is online.
Okay, Master Su is online. Okay, brothers and sisters. A few weeks, I think a few months ago, actually, we actually heard from Master Su share during the volunteers morning assembly about peace pilgrim. So today we are very grateful to have Master Su to share with us on this platform a very important message for all of us, especially in this time of man-made conflicts. And it is very necessary, Master Su say, to let everyone knows about the way of peace. So we would like to welcome Master Su to share with us her teachings, her insights with us.感恩 Master Su. Good morning, Master.
Good morning.
Okay.
Thank you for inviting me to your talk. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, we can, Master.
Okay, thank you. Let me put up my PowerPoint. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to give a sharing with you today. And so today, the topic I would like to share with you is peace. Because I think right now, with the war in Ukraine and the suffering has brought to the people there, it is very important right now for us to promote peace and sow the seeds of peace in people's hearts. And so, so today I would like to share with you the message of peace program that's in her book, which in many ways are very similar to the Buddha's teachings and Master's teachings. And so I came across this book while I was looking through some old books. And I found it very inspiring, even though I had read this book over 20 years ago. But when I reread them again, I still find them very inspirational. And so I gave a talk on this topic in my morning volunteer assembly sharing in Chinese. But today I'm very happy to have the opportunity to share the message of peace program in English, which the book was originally written in. And so I think for people who have awakened and attained wisdom, what they realize is universal truth. And so their teachings are similar, even though they might be expressed differently and from different angles. So learning about her message will help us gain a deeper understanding of the Dharma. Peace Program was an American. She called herself a peace program, and she made the vow to be a wanderer until mankind has learned the way of peace, walking until she's given shelter and fasting until she's given food. For 28 years, she traveled across the US, walking penniless, and all her material possessions she had was the clothes she wore and things she carried in her pocket. And she chose to walk because it was her way of getting in contact with people and share her message of peace. And so Peace Program, which I'm going to just call her Peace. So Peace had no formal religious training as a child. And her family didn't go to church. But when she was a senior in high school, she started to inquire about God. And she asked people, what is God? What is God? But the people she asked couldn't give her any answer. And so she pondered deeply upon the question herself and came up with a very simple answer. So her high school answer was, human beings just lump together everything in the universe, which is beyond the capacity of all of us. And to all those things together, some of us give the name God. And so she looked at the tree and realized that humans couldn't create that one tree. Even if it looked like a tree, it wouldn't grow. So there is a creative force beyond us. And then she looked at the stars at night and realized that there is a sustaining power that keeps planets in their orbit. And then she watched all the changes taking place in the universe. So at the time, some people were trying to keep a lighthouse from washing into the sea. And they finally moved it inland and saved it. And so she noticed all these changes and realized that there's something motivating towards constant change in the universe. And so intellectually, she touched God many times as truth. And emotionally, she touched God as love. She also touched God as goodness and kindness. Then it came to her that God is a creative force, a motivating power, and overall intelligence, and ever-present, all-pervading spirit, which binds everything in the universe together and gives life to everything. And after she embarked on the spiritual path, she came to know about what she called the lower self and the higher self. So we all have these two selves in us, and they have contrary viewpoints. The lower self is the self-centered nature. Our lower self sees things from the viewpoint of our physical well-being only, and it sees us as the center of the universe. But the higher self is the God-centered nature. Our higher self considers our psychological or spiritual well-being, and it sees us as a cell in the body of humanity. When we are governed by our lower self, we are selfish and materialistic. But when we follow the promptings of our higher self, we come to see things realistically and find harmony within ourselves and others. So for years, peace struggled with these two selves. And then one day, when she was out walking, suddenly she felt very uplifted and had the realization of the oneness of all creation. And this all creation includes the creatures that walk the earth, the growing things of the earth, the air, the water, and the earth itself. It's a oneness with that which permeates all and binds all together and gives life to all. So her struggle was now over. She had succeeded in finding inner peace, which was giving her life. And it was at this time that she had the inspiration for a pilgrimage for peace. Now, why did she want to take a pilgrimage for peace? We need to take a look at the time that she lived in. So peace was born in 1908 and died in 1981. In her lifetime, she went through World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the Cold War. And during the Cold War, both the US and the Soviet Union held a lot of nuclear weapons. And people were afraid that if someone were to accidentally push a button, the world would be annihilated. When peace was 45 years old, at the time of the Korean War, she started her pilgrimage for peace. And in the next 28 years, she traveled across the US 6 times. She also walked in Canada and some parts of Mexico. And she died in the car accident when she was crossing the US for the 7th time at the age of 73. And so walking gave her the opportunity to talk to people and spread her message of peace, which was to overcome evil with good and falsehood with truth and hatred with love. She made it her mission to promote peace, especially the inner peace. And she believed that only when enough people find inner peace will the outer peace becomes possible. And so before she took her pilgrimage, she spent 15 years preparing for it, adjusting her mindset so that she could be completely guided by the higher self. And so she shared with people 12 ways in which she used to help her find inner peace. And so for her preparation, the first preparation is to take a right attitude toward life. And this means that we do not escape all problems. We have to be willing to face life squarely and get down beneath the surface of life, where the truth and realities are to be found. And problems are opportunities in disguise. They come to us for a purpose. When we face them and deal with them, they contribute to our inner growth. The second preparation is to bring our lives into harmony with the laws that govern this universe. There are laws that govern the physical realm, and there are laws that govern the psychological realm. If we're able to understand and bring our lives into harmony with these laws, our lives will be in harmony. But if we disobey these laws, we will create difficulties for ourselves. The third preparation is that everyone has a special place in the life pattern, which we need to find it for ourselves. A life pattern is the way we live our life. And some people are in the family pattern in which they get married and have family. And when we come into this world, we have our jobs in the divine plan. We are part in the greater scheme of things. We just need to realize what our job is and live it out. And so this is very similar to what Master says about creating meaning with our life. And most people do not know what their divine job is. So peace suggests that we try seeking it in receptive silence. And she used to walk amid the beauties of nature, just receptive and silent. And then wonderful insights will come to her. So if we're willing to listen, our higher self will guide us to find it. So all we need to do is be open-minded and to have a quiet mind. The fourth preparation is the simplification of life, so that we can bring inner and outer well-being, psychological and material well-being into harmony in our life. And right now, people in the world are very far out of harmony because we are way off on the material side. And our inner well-being lags very far behind our outer well-being. So we need to bring these two into balance. Now for peace, she brought her life down to a neat level after she learned that there are people in the world who don't even have the basic necessities in life. She felt that she could no longer accept more than she needs, while others in the world have less than they need. So on her pilgrimage, she carried with her the clothes she wore and the things in her pockets. And the things in her pockets were a comb, a folding toothbrush, a ballpoint pen, copies of her message, and her current correspondence. That was all her needs. But not everyone's needs are the same. So if you have a family, of course, you'll need to provide for your family for them to live a stable life. And so peace came to realize that anything beyond need tend to become burdensome. If you have it, you have to take care of it. And she told a story of a woman who used to live in a huge house with her husband, even after their children had grown and moved out. And this woman was very attached to her house. And so one time, while the couple was out, a fire burned down their house. And peace happened to visit them a month after the fire accident. And she tried to offer a few words of sympathy, but the woman said to her, "Don't sympathize with me, just think. I will never have to clean out that attic. I will never have to clean out those clothes closets. I will never have to clean that basement. Why, I've never felt so free. I just feel I'm starting life all over again." And after that, the woman and her husband moved to live in a sensible size apartment. So unnecessary possessions are only unnecessary burdens. And so besides the full preparations, there were some purifications required. And the first one is purification of the body. So to peace, our body is a temple of the spirit. And this is like what the Buddha says about our body is a vehicle for cultivation. Without the body, we cannot engage in spiritual cultivation. So we have to take good care of our bodily temple. And we do this through good eating and sleeping habits and exercise. And when it comes to eating, peace chose vegetarianism. And when she first switched to a vegetarian diet, it was due to her rule of life, which says, "I will not ask anyone to do for me things that I will refuse to do for myself." And she realized that when she was eating meat, she was actually disobeying her rule of life, because she said that she wouldn't kill any creature, not even chicken or fish. So she stopped immediately eating all flesh. And as she loved humans, so she extended that love to animals. And so she stopped hurting animals and stopped eating them. And then later on, she learned from a doctor that eating meat leaves poisonous residues in the body, which also made her a vegetarian. So to stay healthy, she believed that it's best to prevent illness from happening in the first place. And then she also learned from a college professor that it takes many times the land to raise the animals we eat as it would to raise fruits or vegetables or grains. And since she wanted the maximum number of God's children to be fed, this also made her a vegetarian. She considered all the people in the world children of God, and she did not want people to go hungry. Now, because she took very good care of her body, she had not been ill for 40-some years, so not even a headache or cold, and she had a radiant health. Now, the second purification is the purification of salt. If we realize how powerful our thoughts are, we will never think a negative thought. And Peace says that she doesn't eat junk foods and she doesn't think junk thoughts. And junk thoughts can destroy us even more quickly than junk food. And positive thoughts can be a very powerful influence for good, and negative thoughts can make us physically ill. And she tells a story of a 65-year-old man who was adversely affected by negative thoughts. This man had a chronic physical illness. When Peace talked to him, she realized that there was some bitterness in his life. And she found that he harbored bitterness against his father, who had passed away for many years, because his father had educated his brother and not him. So Peace talked to him at length. This man was the oldest child in the family. And at the time, his family was poor and his father had no money to educate him. He also had several sisters who also weren't educated. By the time his brother, the youngest one in the family, was to be educated, his father had more money and was able to send him to school. And when the man saw intellectually that his father had done the best he could with both of his sons, he was able to release the bitterness he had been harboring. And his chronic illness began to fade away, and then it was gone. And so Peace says, if you're harboring the slightest bitterness toward anyone or any unkind thoughts of any sort whatsoever, you must get rid of them quickly. They are not hurting anyone but you. It is not enough just to do right things and say right things. You must also think right things before your life can come into harmony. The third purification is the purification of desire. So what are the things that we desire? And most people desire superficial things like pleasure. They want to have new clothes, new household furnishings or cars, etc. But if we are to get ourselves in harmony with the laws that govern human conduct and with our part in the scheme of things, our desire should be focused in this direction. So it's very important to get our desires centered so we know and do our part in the life pattern. Now, in Buddhism, the Buddha talks about the 4 mental powers for making spiritual progress. And the first one is to strengthen our aspiration of cultivation. Now, a cultivator's desire is the aspiration to walk the Bodhisattva path and attain enlightenment. So we are to focus our attention on the welfare of people, open our hearts to all living beings, and think about how we can serve and benefit living beings. So this is our desire. And the fourth purification is the purification of motive. What is your motive for doing something? If it is pure greed or self-seeking or the wish for self-glorification, Peace would say, don't do that thing. Don't do anything you would do with such a motive. But this is not easy because most people do things with mixed motives. For example, a businessman runs business for making money. His motive is to live a comfortable life, but his business also serves the community and benefits people. If we are to find inner peace, our motive must be an outgoing motive. This means that service, to give and not to get. So your motive must be good if your work is to have good effect. The secret of life is being of service. And so to make progress on our spiritual growth, we need to remove obstacles that hinders our growth. And this requires us to let go of certain things. The first is the relinquishment of self-will. If we can do this, we've found inner peace. So our goal is to transform our lower self into this higher self. We can work on subordinating the lower self by refraining from doing the not good things we may be motivated toward. If we are motivated to do something bad, we can think of something good and use the same energy that we would otherwise do bad to do good. And so for this one, the relinquishment of self-will, it is very difficult. And we really need to observe our thoughts. And sometimes we need to pull ourselves back in order to let our higher self take over our lower self. And the second one is the relinquishment of the feeling of separateness. We begin feeling very separated and judging everything as it relates to us, as though we are the center of the universe. But in reality, we are all cells in the body of humanity. We are not separated from our fellow humans. As long as we work for our selfish little self, we are just one cell against all those other cells, and we will be out of harmony. But as soon as we begin working for the good of the whole, we can be in harmony with all of our fellow human beings. Now, the third one is the relinquishment of all attachments. And no one is truly free who is still attached to material things, to places, or to people. Material things must be put into their proper place. They are there for use. When they've outlived their usefulness, be ready to relinquish them or pass them on to someone who needs them. Anything that you cannot relinquish when it has outlived its usefulness possesses you. In this materialistic age, a lot of people are possessed by their possessions. Now, there is another kind of possessiveness now that we need to learn to let go, which is you do not possess any other human beings, no matter how closely related that other person may be, whether they are your spouse or children. When we think we possess people, there is a tendency for us to run their lives for them, which leads to inharmonious situations. So we have to realize that each person must live in accordance with his or her own inner motivations. Only when we realize this can we live in harmony with people and stop trying to run their lives for them. And also, the relationships that we have formed with people do not necessarily last for life. And separation takes place constantly. And as long as it takes place lovingly, not only is there no spiritual injury, it can actually help us grow spiritually. And the last one is the relinquishment of all negative feelings. And there's one feeling that the nicest people still experience, which is worry. And worry is not concern, which will motivate us to do everything possible in a situation. Worry is a useless mulling over things we cannot change. And there's one thing that is very useful that peace found in controlling her own negative feelings. And she realized that no outward thing can hurt her psychologically. She said that, I recognized that I could only be hurt psychologically by my own wrong actions, by my own wrong reactions, or by my own inaction in some situations. And you have complete control over whether you will be psychologically hurt or not. And anytime you want to, you can stop hurting yourself. Now, this is contrary to our thinking And when we are hurt, we usually think that it's something or someone who hurt us. But if we think more deeply about this, how we feel depends on our perception of things and how we interpret the situation. In a same situation, two people could feel differently. And our master teaches us to be understanding. And when we look at it, a situation from a kind and empathic perspective, we're less likely to get hurt. And so for peace, when someone does something mean to her, all she has is a deep compassion for the out of harmony person who is capable of doing mean things. And so the preparations, purifications, and relinquishments are peace's steps toward inner peace. And she says that there is nothing new about them. It is universal truth. And the laws which govern this universe work for good as soon as we obey them. And anything contrary to those laws doesn't last long. It contains within itself the seeds of its own destruction. The good in every human life always makes it possible for us to obey these laws. So if everyone can just follow the laws of the universe, things will quickly return to harmony. But this is not easy because living beings have free will and they are free to choose whatever they want to do. And people have free will as to whether they will finish the mental and emotional growing up, but many choose not to. The beginning of our spiritual growing up is the time when we feel completely willing, without any reservations, to live the self-centered life. And so the Buddha actually knows this. He knows that living beings have free will, and it's actually very problematic because of free will, people actually sometimes they do not listen to the Dharma and follow the Dharma. And so this is why in the Lotus Sutra, in the parable of the burning house, even though the elder has strength in his body and arms, he did not use it. But rather, he used skillful means of the 3 carts to get his children wanting to get out of the burning house. If he just picked up the children and took them outside, but the children did not want to leave, they will just run back inside to play in the burning house. And so you see that we cannot force people to take the spiritual path. They have to want to take the spiritual path on their own. And so, of course, we can encourage and inspire people to take the spiritual path, as this will do them a lot of good. And Peace shared many of her message with people, and many of them are the same as the Buddha's teachings. However, no matter how much teachings we get and how great they are, if we don't put them to practice, the teachings cannot help us. So the key word for our time is practice. And there are a lot of problems in our world: climate change, the pandemic, the war in Ukraine, dwindling of the Earth's resources, refugee crisis, hunger, etc. And these are collective problems. And Peace says that collective problems must be solved by us collectively. And no one finds inner peace who avoids doing his or her share in the solving of collective problems. So at the conclusion of my talk, I want to share with you 2 videos of Peace, so you can see and listen to her personally via the video. So our thoughts are very powerful. We create what we think. And the reason why Peace could do what she did was because she thought only good things that she wanted to see happening in our world. And she explains this in the video. Now the video is from the 70s or the 80s. So the quality is not very good, and you have to listen very carefully.
One of the things that we're just coming to realize is that we create through thought. We constantly create through thought. We create our inner conditions. We help to create the conditions around us. Now, if you're fearful, what will happen? You will attract the things you fear. I fear nothing and expect only good. So to me, only good comes. But then, of course, I'm always thinking about the best that could happen and all the good things that I want to see happen, because those are the things I want to emphasize.
Okay, so she said that we create through our thoughts, and we create our inner conditions and outer conditions through thoughts. So whatever we think in our mind, that is what we will attract to us. So we have to remind ourselves to always think positive. And here is another message she has for all of us.
There is darkness in our world today, yes. It is due to the disintegration of things which are contrary to the divine law of love. But let us never say hopelessly, "Oh, this is the darkness before a storm." Let us rather say with faith, "This is the darkness before the dawn of a golden age of peace, which we cannot now even imagine. For this, let us hope and work and pray."
So even though we live in a world full of crises, we are actually very blessed to have people of wisdom such as Dharma Master Sen Yan, Peace Program, and other spiritual leaders who share with us the Dharma, the universal truth, so that we know to sow and spread the seeds of love and to create a future that we look forward to. And so in Su Ching, we've all chosen to take the spiritual path and grow spiritually. And all the Su Ching work we do, whether it's helping people in need, recycling, disaster relief, or purifying people's hearts, contribute to bringing peace to our world. And so let us continue to serve, grow spiritually, and strive to bring Master's 3 wishes to fruition. Purify people's hearts, bring harmony to society, and have no disasters in the world. And so this is my sharing today. Thank you for listening.
Utmost感恩 Master Tesu for such a bringing us such a wonderful and important message to all of us who are on the path. I believe that because Master Tesu shared this before in one of the sessions, actually I personally also went to find out more about the messages from Peace Pilgrim. They're very aligned with what Master is guiding us in Su Ching and also the Buddha's teachings. And really very thankful to Master Tesu for the great sharing and wonderful reminders for all of us. In fact, I think today's session is so wonderful because from Brother David Liu's sharing just now and Master Tesu plus Peace Pilgrim's message, it kinds of like give us a glimpse into all of us have this hope, within us. You know, when we have this hope within us for the world that is better, we have this peace within us. And when we have that, like what Peace Pilgrim says and what Brother David says just now, we will be able to have this love within us that we can then give to others. So very thankful for today's wondrous and wonderful session from Brother David to Master Tesu and also Peace Pilgrim. So with that, we would like to thank all our wonderful and most wise sharers today. And before we end, actually, we would like to take a group photo with Master Tesu. Shall we all, those who are convenient, switch on our videos and maybe unpin me so that we can have a group photo taken together with Master. Maybe you can unpin us. Sister Lily.
感恩哦，Master Desu. Listening again it's still very awesome 哦，真的是很棒，很感恩。
Yeah, actually, the book of Peace Program, they can be found on the website and it's free for download. So if you're interested, you can actually read the English version. They also have a translated Chinese version if you're interested in it. And I do encourage you to read the book because it has a lot more messages in the book than what I shared with you today.
Yes, Kan'en Master Desu. We will, and we have actually downloaded, and there are a lot of videos available on her as well. And they're all very, very good. Yeah. So, okay. So we have taken the group photo, right? All right. So,
yes.
Okay. So we shall end the session. Kan'en, Brother David, Master Desu, for lots of heartfelt and wisdom sharing today. Thank you to brothers and sisters for your presence, and hope that each of us can sustain the Dharma joy and take in another piece of Master's and Hualien's love into our lives. Let us now invite Master to lead us in making 3 bows to the Buddha and Master Cheng Yen as we depart to apply these teachings in our daily lives. Let us now rise to pay respects to our lives, universal teachers, by making 3 sincere bows. First bow, second bow, and third bow. And a bow to our beloved Sifu who could join us today. Kan'en Sifu. Kan'en everybody. Kan'en brothers and sisters. Kan'en Sifu.
Kan'en Stephanie for the great emceeing work.
Kan'en Sister Su Ching. Kan'en all brothers and sisters.
Have
Kan'en
a
Brother
good day.
David. Brother
Send love to all of you.
Bye bye, sir. See you again. Bye bye.